onto the Cup Chasers podcast. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Match week 1 is in the books. It's been a good one. I'm super excited that the season has kicked off. And if you're as pumped as we are, go ahead and smash up the likes, subscribe to the channel, and get that notification bell on. All right. Manchester City kicked off the season with a 3-0 win on Friday night. Welcome to the league for Mr. Vincent Kompany and Burnley. What are you telling me, Lewis?
What I thought was really interesting is, one, Burnley is going to be good. They're going to be good. I called it, but they're going to be good this year. They just, it was a big stage. They were at home, which was silly because they threw batteries and stuff at people.
Yeah, that was not a good look.
No, I'm sorry, a lighter. They threw lighters at people.
Not a lighter. It's not a good look.
But they're gonna be legitimately good. I'm glad City got that game against them. I felt like that was a good team to play against. It was a sort of a hunger, and what better way? You're gonna shoot for the champs. Obviously, Haaland doesn't like scoring in preseason games, which is why he waited until the actual games. I think he likes people to kind of like egg him on.
Yeah.
Because he had a smirk when, Arsenal won the Community Shield and he went out like in the 60th minute. And then he did what he did. I'm excited to see, it was disappointing to see De Bruyne go out. I was actually shocked he played because I think there was even in the commentary.
How was he?
Yeah, he was shocked. But the thing about it was, if you remember when we talked about him when he went out in the Champions League game at the end, the final at the end of last season, the anticipation was he wouldn't play until September anyways. Like they were assuming to start the season without him. And they're playing him like the first week of August. And so it's confusing. So I guess, they spoke it out. This is why you got to be careful about the things you say, right? Because it's energy. But he'll probably be back in October, which is, it's fine. It is what it is at this point. I think I like seeing, I'm glad Foden's going to get a chance to play centrally, even though he moved in and out on the wing. Alvarez and Foden, even though we go back to old podcasts from last season, I wanted to see that look of Alvarez, Foden, and Haaland together. I'm going to get it now pretty regularly. Grealish didn't play, and apparently he stayed on the field after the game to kind of work on his stuff. I think he's a great player. I really do. I think he works better centrally, but for Pep's system, I guess he doesn't work centrally for how he holds up the ball because he'd have to actually pass it, right? And
is it a case of others being better?
Huh?
Is it a case of others are better, that you have that piece of the puzzle already?
Well, I think Grealish is good. It depends. Like, I think the opponent matters on when
in the middle.
Oh yeah. Well, Foden is better than him. Like, but you can pull the records. I've been on Foden being the replacement in the middle for the longest. It's not a secret. Foden is literally, outside of De Bruyne, is the most creative player they have in the midfield, and then it will be Alvarez after that. Those are your creators. Why would you not want them in the middle of the park? And Alvarez still sort of has that striker mentality, which is why Foden should be there. You can stick Alvarez on the wing, or you can play two up top and let Foden play under him. However you want to. That's how it's going to work. But they played well. It was nice to see Vardy play. And, I guess it's a mixed bag reaction to how Kovacic played. I thought he did fine. Rodri was there to protect him. There was which is good.
There was some floppiness in there, though.
That's what I was about to,
I was going to get to that in just a second.
I was going to say he looks disjointed, like he doesn't.
Not just Kovacic either. There was
no. It's Rico Lewis looked bad. I didn't like how he played at all. And the thing about it is he has confidence. It's good. I think he's 19, so it's a big deal. But I think he was in there primarily because Vardy wasn't ready to play. And so I think because of that, because Vardy can invert, and he looks like he's a stout, strong guy that'll be out wide, and he'll make those runs, and he'll make the passes as well. Walker looked like Walker. That's good. I'm glad they re-signed him. Glad Bernardo re-signed. So two concerns that are taken care of. But I'm happy for Vinny. He's a blue. But I think there'll be teams, and I think we said in the chat, teams are going to have issues with their press, man. If they play somebody less than City, like if they did what they did to City against United, they would have blew them out. They'd have blown them out. So respect the Burnley. I still think, like I said, they're going to finish in the top 8. And I think they played well. They had chances. They did have chances, and I don't think I learned a ton about City because we don't know what the team is yet. But I'm happy to get the W.
Yeah.
I think that, and this may be a broken record, but it's one that I think deserves shouting out, because if it was anybody else, we would all be freaking out about the second goal that Haaland scored. I mean, yes, it was a perfect layoff from Alvarez and just an absolute nasty finish. Nasty finish. Um, the only That's the only goal for me that's taken Saka's goal of the week. You know, comparable in quality, I would say. And like you say, Holland just comes in and he's like, "Yeah, did you miss me?" You know, business as usual. But I agree completely. I think Burnley are going to be just fine, and I'm very interested to see how just fine they are, as you've put them in 8th place in the predictions. So I totally agree that their press is going to be a problem. It's going to be an issue, especially if they got somebody who, they can pounce on these mistakes, because that's kind of. I thought that City approached the game like champions, like City, like any champion would, where it's like, okay, this is what you've got. All right, we got you.
Yeah.
And so in the beginning they were, that's how City are. They're just like, okay, we're gonna see what you're about to do, and then here's our response that you can't handle. It's kind of the way I see City's strategy, and this game though never really developed, I thought.
No.
3 minutes in, and
Yep. Welcome to the league.
Exactly. Like, and remember what I texted you in the chat, like after the second goal, I was like, I was thinking to myself, y'all didn't learn. You can't give that animal
right
space in the box.
Oh, you
didn't learn the
lose
first
someone
time.
Yeah, no.
But
both goals he got space. On the first goal, I mean, he was just reading the defender. The defender lost him. How do you lose him?
I mean,
that's the most. You're in the box.
He's giant.
He's gigantic. Oh goodness, yeah.
But
I think Burnley are gonna be just fine.
I forgot to bring it up, but the halftime thing where Pep got on him or whatever, I thought that was a really interesting moment, especially since Pep kind of pushed the camera out the way. Because I actually saw what Pep was complaining about. Because before the end of the half, you could see Haaland calling for the ball. And because he had it, he could have played him over the top, but Bernardo didn't do it. He just held it. And so he said something to him, and Bernardo laughed at it because he probably knows him, so it's like whatever. And I guess Pep, because it's who he is. He's a nice guy on the surface, but he nipped that in the bud quick. Because I mean, I guess you got a guy who scores 52 goals in 53 games, and he has 2 already, and he probably can get another one. And you're like, hey, hold on, buddy, it's not about that. Because if you listen to his post game press conference, they said, yeah, you scored a lot of goals. He said it's not about that. It's about winning the game. He immediately came right back. And he said what happened. He said, I wanted the ball, and the manager said that my focus was wrong.
Yeah. And he's young. Like, as good as he is, we always give him credit, but like, I don't discredit Haaland for that, but he's young. Like, he's gonna get in his head some moments, and it's harder not to be big, and it's harder not to be bigger than the club when you're banging, like, you just broke he's when you're on that type of level and you're consistently showing it, like you said, he was on fire for the league. People were talking, a little bit of, like you said, he invites that a little bit, give him a little bit of fuel, let him eat on it, and then he's going to explode and put 2 past you and not just tap it. Like he found that second goal. It's not a, you know what I'm saying? It's not, easy goals,
And he just took one step. Like, it wasn't even, there was no back step. There was no run up.
Well,
he just one step ripped.
But it
So
looks
yeah,
like
I
that
think
was something they've done before. Like it
Right.
looked like they were comfortable. He knew where he was going to be. You know what's interesting, and I heard a criticism of Haaland, which I agree with, and we all have kind of said it in the same way, where he's not really the best player. He's just a very good finisher, which he is.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you got a striker, do I want you to be the best player, or do I need you to finish? It's always finish.
do your job, right?
That's why Kevin De Bruyne is your best player.
That's why he is.
Even Haaland gets 52 goals, and I don't say he's the best player on your team.
He's not. Yeah, I agree.
But just imagine, like, that's what I was thinking about with some of these bigger guys. Like, I know when it was when I was considering if Mbappe could win our bracket. I was thinking about how Mbappe would compare. The fact that Messi and Ronaldo had the foot skills at top speed. Mbappe is a gazelle that's going to run past you, but does he have the ball on a string while he's going 90 miles an hour down the pitch like Leo did? And so Haaland doesn't necessarily have the ball on a string like that. Haaland's not going to start at his own box. I mean, he's not going to do the Messi run. He's
going to put his head down.
He might do the touchdown run where he's got linebackers on his back and he's carrying everybody.
He's going to put his head down. Yeah.
But and he might have people bounce off of him as he slaloms through the thing, but he's not going to Thierry Henry versus Liverpool dribble 6 guys and slot one, But yeah, you can't complain. He scores 50 goals a season.
And he's gotten better because if you remember last year, he wouldn't check back and play and people used to always make a big deal of he wouldn't have touches. But it's not about touches for him. It really ain't. I mean, he had 9 touches and scored 2 goals and had what? I think.
Yeah. And the commentator goes, that's a lot of touches for him.
It is.
Yeah. And one thing I want to mention, you brought up Pep. It's a mentality.
Yep.
It's that champions mentality. Well, there you have it, folks. Week 1 is in the books. It's been a good one. We're definitely looking forward to the rest of the season. Definitely happy about the season getting underway, and we're just getting started. So go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and get that notification bell on. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Have a great night.